Hey everybody, AJ McWhorter here, your tournament director for the Hobie Bass Open Series powered by Lowrance. We are wrapping up our 6th season, our 4th total visit here in Dayton, Tennessee on Lake Chickamauga. We started the Bass Open Series on Lake Chickamauga. We've been again. We had the TOC last year, and we're ending this season right here on the Tennessee River chain, Lake Chickamauga. It is an interesting time of year to be here. For those of you that are practicing, I'm sure it looks quite a bit different than maybe some other times that we've been here. But that's what makes it exciting, coming to a new play or a familiar place at a new time and seeing what she's got to offer us. First and foremost, I want to thank you all for being here with us. We definitely know how much it takes to be at these events. We greatly appreciate your commitment and investment in us all season, including this final one. And, we're just excited to be here and support you guys doing what you all love to do. We also appreciate you guys bearing with us for a little change. I hope you guys like it. If you didn't get the email or didn't read it earlier and you're watching this video wondering what's going on, we're doing this video tonight to kind of get you prepared for the tournament and a little bit of Friday. If you're watching this before the check-in tomorrow, we're not going to have this meeting live in person tomorrow at our headquarters. We're just going to get you checked in. We're going to give you your day 1 and your day 2 identifier. We're going to make sure you have the right sticker on your catch board. Maybe sell a few hats, have a few laughs, and see everybody. So we'll dive into those details here in a little bit. But you guys know I got to thank our sponsors for everything we do. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without them. Shout out to ENGEL Coolers for being our namesake sponsor. They've got some awesome products all across the board, both in coolers, backpack coolers, boxes, cups, tumblers, anything that you can imagine, all shapes and sizes. ENGEL has something for you, and they've supported this series for many years. When you're shopping for your next cooler, make sure you check ENGEL out. They've got some great items. They're a supporter of kayak fishing, and we want to support them. We also want to thank the rest of our sponsors: Lowrance, Hobie Eyewear, St. Croix Rods, 7 Reels, Newport Motors, Burley Pro, Tazline, TH Marine, Railblazer, Yak Gear, Marine Mat. And we also want to give a shout out to Tourney X for everything that they do to help us run these events so seamlessly. So sorry, lost my notes here. We've also got to give a shout out to Dayton, Ray County. They have supported kayak fishing in a lot of different ways for many years, and they continue to bring us back. Really appreciate all the folks around here, the tackle store, Real Deal. They support kayak fishing, the local groups all year round. But if you're around other parts of the lake, there's other good shops too that are out there. But here in Dayton, Ray County, you've got Real Deal. Go see them at their new spot. If you haven't been out there, it's an amazing tackle shop, and they've got a lot of great stuff from some of our sponsors. And we've also got to thank Hobie for their continued investment and support in this series. It's built for you all. If you're in the market for a new kayak, check out Hobie for all sorts of different size and shape kayaks out there. No better time right now to get a deal on a Hobie Pro Angler or a Pro Angler 360. If this is your first time fishing with us, my name's AJ. I'm your tournament director. All event questions and concerns come directly to me immediately. You've been sent my contact. It's also posted within the event pages. It will be on the back of the ID that we pass out tomorrow. Just come to me with any issues, any questions. I do not fish in these events. I'm here specifically to handle anything that comes up with you all and help keep you all comfortable and on the water. If you need to reference anything at all, it'll be in the event page at hobiebos.com. We also send emails directly to you, the email that's registered on Tourney X, so you can check there. A lot of that information has been sent to you directly. Then we put it within the event page so you know what's going on. Like we mentioned earlier, this is our last event We will have the TOC coming up, and we will get the information out about who is qualified for the TOC. I know there's a lot of folks here trying to get those points in. Just give us a little bit of time to tally up some points, double check everything, communicate with those anglers, and hopefully by the end of the week, you all will know if you are qualified or not, and we'll be able to start giving out some information for the Tournament of Champions on Santee Cooper Lakes in Clarendon County in November. As most of you all probably know, just a reminder, this is a motorized event, but we do only allow one motor. It can be bow or stern or drop through if that's your style, but we do only allow one motor to be utilized in the event, so Saturday and Sunday, one motor. I want you all to be aware of the weather. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, but it's going to be hot. So make sure you all stay hydrated, prepare on and off the water for that. We don't want any issues. Some of y'all are coming from a little different climates, and we just want you to be prepared for the heat, probably some humidity, and everything that's going on here for a beautiful weekend here in Dayton, Tennessee. All right, we talked about it earlier. We're going to run through the event schedule. Tomorrow, between 5 and 6 p.m., you'll come up to the event headquarters. It's the Dayton Church of God. That is published in the event page if you don't know where it's at. We also send it to your email. I will be sitting there at a table. You just come up to me with your catch board. I will make sure your board is good to go. I'll give you your day 1 ID. I'll give you your day 2 ID as well, and you're good. You can go ahead and roll out. You can bring catch boards for people that might not be able to make this meeting. We'll get them checked in. We'll give you their IDs as well. This is your reminder to make sure you have a Sharpie with you. It's good to have in the boat on day 1 in case you lose your day 1 ID. You can always message me. I'll get you a temporary ID that'll get you back to fishing immediately. But you will need to use that Sharpie to write on your day 2 ID. So Sharpie, very important tool. Keep it with you in the boat. All right. Tournament day. 6:30 a.m. is when you are allowed to pedal, paddle, and motor away from your launch. We do allow you to get on the water prior to this. This is so you're not clogging ramps in the way, any of those things. Get launched, get out of the way, hang out off to the side, a little bit off the bank, and then at 6:30 a.m., y'all can go. You want to make sure that you're properly lighted. You've got to be visible out on the water. There will be other boats running around about that time. You need to be legal to be out on the water that early. First cast is 7 a.m. You all get to fish until 3. You have right up until the clock hits 3:01 to take your picture. That is the deadline. So it's got to be 3:00 and 59 seconds. As soon as it hits 3:01, that timestamp doesn't count. What I suggest y'all do, especially on day 1, set your alarm for 3:01. That is when you know that you have to be done. You have to stop casting, stop scouting. It's time to make your way back to your launch ramp. Go ahead and get back. You're no longer allowed to be on the water gaining information that could help you the next day. So 2:31 is your time to get back to the launch. The submission deadline is 3:30. So you have 30 minutes once fishing ends to get your fish submitted. I do not suggest waiting until the very end. That has only worked out bad for people in the past. If you don't get them submitted through the day, I can't help you through the day, making sure you're taking the right photos, making sure you know what your scores are, making sure everything is right. If you wait till the very end, we're limited to what you have right then, and we're going to have to handle that accordingly, and you have no time left to fix anything. Once again, please get back to your launch at a reasonable time and safely. We will post a live video for day 1 updates to Saturday evening. We will prepare you for day 2, and we will release a 3-digit ID that has to be written on your day 2 card or some similar card. This will be a 3-digit ID. It will not be 4 digits. It will not be available until 7 p.m. So wait for that 3-digit ID. It'll be sent to you in an email. It'll be on your Tourney X after 7, and you'll be able to be prepared to get after it on day 2. We'll go over some day 2 stuff in that meeting, and you'll be ready to go. Once again, it's not a requirement. It is suggested by us, by our other judge. Submit your fish when you catch it. That's the best way to keep track of your catch throughout the day. It's the best way to get immediate feedback on your picture. If there are any issues, go ahead and get it in. You don't have to worry about it later. If you don't have service when you catch it, just submit it when you do have service. If you don't have service later in the day, you better get somewhere quick to get your fish in, because there are places around this lake and different areas where service is just not great. You want to make sure your Tourney X app is working and updated. Let me know if there's anything going on. We'll make sure that we get you working real quick. And, a lot of you fish many events with us this year. I'm not going to go over the rules word for word. You can read them. You can access them, though. I'm going to hit on a couple important ones just so y'all are comfortable out there. Safety. Definitely want to be safe at all times. We do require you to wear a PFD for the entirety of the time that you're on the water. It has to be on the outside of your jacket, or anything like that. So in the morning, if you get on the water and it's a little cool and you just want to throw something on real quick, you got to take your life jacket off, put your jacket on or your hoodie or whatever, throw your vest back on, and then you can get to fishing. Now, later in the day when it gets hot and you take that off, make sure you put your life jacket back on. There's always somebody in one of these events that takes it off to put a jacket on or do something. They don't remember to put their life jacket back on. Make sure you get your life jacket back on as soon as you can. Lighting, we touched on it earlier. We want you to be legal, but we also want you to be safe. We require what the local laws require. You must have a 360-degree light. If you don't have one, you can purchase one. There's still time. You can also make one to be visible while you're out there. We just need you all to be visible. Now, if you are running a motor, you need to have red and green lights while you're running your motor in low light. If you don't have a 360 light, you need to wait until it is safe light out to launch. If you don't have a red and green light, you cannot use your motor until it's safe light. You need to hang out close to the bank until you have proper lighting if you aren't going to follow the rules of the water to be out there with a motor or just in general in a vessel. We're trusting you. I promise there's nothing that I hate worse than getting a call at the launch first thing in the morning that so-and-so in an orange kayak doesn't have their lights on. I don't like that just as much as y'all don't. But if I get a call and have proof that somebody is breaking that rule, their fish on day 1 will not count. So if you're out there doing your thing and not following the lighting rules that we've set aside, and someone confirms that, and I have proof, we will disqualify your fish on day 1. Just follow the rules. Be legal. As far as communication goes, after 4 p.m. on Friday, you can no longer solicit fishing or waterway information from anyone in an attempt to gain a competitive advantage. This lasts through the conclusion of the event. Now, tomorrow before 4 p.m., Friday, 4 p.m., before that, you can go into the tackle store and ask questions. After 4 p.m., that's over. Obviously, we want you to be courteous and friendly to folks on the water. You can have conversation, general questions, to be kind and things like that. Just be smart. Don't ask specific questions that will give you a competitive advantage after 4 p.m. on Friday. Now, during the tournament hours of each day, anglers may not utilize any electronic devices for private communication with competitors or non-competitors to share or receive information on these tournament waters. It includes fishing strategies, techniques, or anything that could provide an advantage. If you're by an angler and on the water, you can definitely communicate however you need to communicate when you're around other anglers. You can just not utilize a device to share that information during tournament hours. Afterwards, if you both want to share that information with each other or in a group or whatever, you can have those conversations after tournament hours. You just can't do it through devices during tournament hours. We also encourage you all to be on social media, share your event, go live if you want. Just be smart and aware when you do that. You're representing not just yourself, but this tournament and kayak anglers all over. So a reminder, you can't start fishing again until the fish you just caught is released. It's a reminder that you have to launch and land from a published facility on our event map. At this time, we will no longer add any other launches. We will just remove any as needed if we get information that they need to be removed. We ask that you please park at these locations and be respectful of others. Some of them can be fairly small. Just be aware that other people, whether they're in this event or not, have the right to utilize those facilities as well. A facility isn't considered public and available until it is open to the public. Any area marked off limits, keep out, no fishing, or anything like that will be honored. You cannot fish into an area that's marked that way, even if your boat is outside of it. Just leave those areas alone and you'll be good. If anybody's fishing really shallow tributaries or anything like that, the way that our rules state is competitors must be able to float in and out or through an area during tournament days for it to be considered legal waters to navigate. You can pedal, paddle, motor, or push pole to navigate those areas. Once your kayak bottoms out and becomes completely or partially immobilized from the bottom, you are no longer considered to be floating and you cannot go any further. That is your boundary. We do not allow portaging or wading in this event. All fish must measure 12 inches with the mouth closed. Anything like a 12 and a quarter is going to, with the mouth open, is going to get a half-inch penalty. That falls below 12, that's not going to count. So if it's 12, it's 12 and a quarter. You better make sure that mouth is completely closed, and I will get you your best score for it. That goes in general for all fish. If you can get your mouth all the way closed or as closed as you can get it, we're going to be able to work with you, probably get you the best score, the score you think. If you leave a crack on the mouth, it leaves us the opportunity to judge it the way that we see it. You might miss out on a half inch because that crack, you got to try to get that mouth closed, and we'll give you the best score we can. As far as your photos, we only accept original photos. They must be submitted directly to Tourney X. No manipulated photos or videos will be judged. We need to see the entire fish from the tip of the lip to the end of the tail on an approved measuring device while inside of your tournament legal vessel. That bass must be laying with the tip of the lip against the post end of the measuring device. I need to see enough of the measuring device post to see the sticker and all of that. Some of y'all often cut off part of the fish's mouth on the post, at least in one of your pictures. We will deny that fish, that picture, and we'll let you know. It's always good to take plenty of pictures and make sure you look at your pictures before you release your fish. The mouth of the bass must be closed completely to receive full score. The tail of the bass must be lying flat on the board and will be measured to the longest point. If part of the tail starts like curling up a little bit, sometimes that happens, but if the other part of the tail is laying flat, we're going to give you the score for what we see. If that tail is flat, we'll score it. We do also allow you to pinch and hold the tail in this series. So if you have any issues with the tail, that fish is wanting to curl that tail, you can go ahead and pinch it and hold it down. The fish must be oriented facing to the left, tail to the right, belly towards the angler. I need to make sure that the measuring device markings are clearly visible, including the actual numbers. If you've got like a tag or anything on your board, slide it down a little bit so I can see the next number so I can actually judge your fish. I've got to see enough of your identifier to know that it's the right identifier. So make sure that's in the photo. And then on day 2, I've got to see those 3 digits for it to count. I'm looking for one overhead photo shot, not at a drastic angle. The fish must be clear of any holding devices, including a lure or a hook. And don't obstruct the lip, the eye, or the tail to where I can't see those things to give it a proper judgment or score. No hand or fingers up inside the gill plate. It's not healthy for the fish. That's not how we do it in this series. If a fish has a visible or glossy eye or any odd markings, doesn't look good, we ask that you just take a video of that fish going from the board back into the water, swimming away, showing it's alive. And that way, if there are any questions that pop up, we can make sure that we are able to verify that that fish was released healthy. If you have any questionable issues with a fish or a situation, just make sure you bring it to my attention as quickly as possible. The quality of the photo submitted is the responsibility of the angler. So make sure you check your photos, take plenty of photos, make sure you clean off your lens. All of those things are going to help you take better pictures throughout the day. So a reminder that we do penalize an open mouth anywhere from a 1/2 inch to 2 inches based on the size of fish and the cracks versus wide open. If that mouth is all the way open, it's going to get either a 1 or 2 inch penalty. On Tourney X, there's a feature called Manage Catch. It's good for you to know what Manage Catch does for you. That is showing you what you've submitted. It's showing you what's been judged, how it's been judged. It's also a place that if you need to delete a picture, whether you're submitting a better one or any of those things, you can delete it out of Manage Catch. It's always a good thing to check your Manage Catch before, it's always good to check it throughout the day as needed, but definitely before 3:30 tomorrow. That way you're able to know if you have any questions, you can communicate that, or maybe you didn't submit the right fish and your score's not what you thought it was. You still have time to fix that in that time span. Managing your catch is your responsibility. However, Tourney X will auto cull the smallest fish out of your limit, so you don't have to worry about that. We want you all to be safe. We want you to have fun. Look out for yourself and others. You're representing the kayak fishing community well here in Ray County, Tennessee. That's what it's all about. We will have a published pay scale going out on Saturday in your email. We will be able to go over qualifiers, all that coming up through this weekend. We'll be doing lives every day throughout the event. We'll be talking about where people are as it pertains to Angler of the Year, where they are in this event as they're fishing Lake Chickamauga over the next couple days. So we appreciate you all again. Thanks for being here. We can't wait to wrap up this 8th event of our 6th season here for the ENGEL Coolers Lake Chickamauga event in Dayton, Tennessee.
We weren't all born to fish, but the eagle was. With enhanced auto-tuning sonar, IPS screens, detailed charting, and an easy and reliable installation. Meet Eagle from Lowrance. Fish finding's about to get a whole lot easier.